our guests here. Joining us, Margaret O'Donnell, the president of the Capital City Chorale Board, and Michael Munn is one of the members. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks.
Good morning. So we've got you all here to talk about, in a Capital City Chorale overall in general, but in timely fashion because of the fall kickoff is next week, right? This fall semester kickoff. Tell us about that.
We are kicking off our fall semester this coming Tuesday. Our practices are on Tuesday from 7 to 8:30 at Franklin County High School choir room. So if you are interested, if you've ever sung, if you think you might like to sing, come out and join us starting this coming Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
So tell us overall a bit more about the Capital City Chorale. I think you all have been around since the mid-90s, 94-ish. But tell us about sort of what your all's goal is and what kind of the purpose of the chorale is.
So it is a community choir. We've had an inquiry this year whether we would allow an 8th grader to sing with us, wow. And I said sure. We have tried to be diverse in our membership by age and experience. We think this may be the 30th year of the Capital City Chorale. We are trying to track down all the past directors, and perhaps we're going to do something to commemorate the chorale and its history in the community. We have a very young, inspiring director now with Taylor Strickland, and he has lots of ideas. We sang last semester with the choir at Western Hills High School. This year we are going to perform with Woodford County High School, and in the spring with Franklin County High School. So we really, me personally, I like the practices the best, but yeah. we are trying to increase our visibility in the community, sure. And have more opportunities to sing.
Yeah. So, well, what other events will you all be sort of singing at in 2023 or even into next year?
So we have been invited by the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs to sing the national anthem at their 25th anniversary celebration on October 1st. That will be at the Capitol. We also will sing again this year at the Candlelight Tradition on November 9th. We will perform with Woodford County High School on December 9th, and then our end concert will be the 12th of December. Then this past semester, we ended our semester with a joint performance with the Capital City Band, and we are going to do that again this year. And I think we've already chosen the date, June 6th, maybe. I'm not sure of the exact date.
We got some time to share that out.
We do.
Yeah.
So we're really kind of excited about the fact that we're going to do more than just have our practices leading toward an end of the semester concert.
Michael, tell us what led you to the chorale. How did you find yourself in there?
Well, excuse me, you get to be 80 and that's what happens. So I have been in choir since 1953. That was my first one. That's another century. And sometimes I've been in 2, 3, and 4, and I've traveled all over the world, and I'm not a great voice. I'm a choir voice. I'm a bass. And I was really disappointed when I got down here in January to move near my granddaughters, well, actually my grandchildren, and also my daughters, and 3 of them, and the 14 grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. Got 3 of those, and blessed by them. And so I was really excited, but I assumed that there were community choirs like up in Michigan, where I moved from. But in the county I moved from, I mean, there was 20 community choirs just in that one county.
Wow.
They're all over.
Wow.
And then I was ready to get settled in down here, and I started looking around for a community choir, and I could find nothing. And my daughter and my grandkids are all techies, as you might imagine. I'm not, but they could not find a single one between, and I think it's being online, a website. They could not find a single one between Louisville and Lexington, and I was shocked, and I was almost tempted to say, I really made a mistake. I might want to move back, because music's been a part of my life, my whole life, except when I was 5 years in the Army. I started down here, amazingly, at Fort Knox. So that's where we all went, from the Detroit area. I wasn't Detroit, I was Ann Arbor, but so then I was walking down the street near where my daughter and her husband live, and a couple of the grandchildren at that time, and somebody stopped and just to say hello, very friendly, which I love. That's happened more than once. And I sort of unloaded on them and said I was really disappointed and wondering what my life was going to be like without music. It's so part of an intrinsic part of my being, and even the churches didn't have choirs that I could be part of. There was no choirs at that time. It was COVID, yeah. And that shocked me, and I was really a little bit depressed, I'll admit. And I don't get depressed easily. Well, this gal said, I know one. It's in Frankfurt. It's a choir there, you can find out. And somehow, this person out in the boondocks, near Finchville, between Shelbyville and Finchville, and said, and there's a gal named Margaret, and I think I can get her phone number. And she got it. I assume you're known for a good reason. So gave me the number. I called, and she, of course, said, yes, come on. And we meet at the high school, Franklin High School, which I had no idea where it was, because it's, I live in Shelbyville. So then that's how I got in. And the first time I got there and I could see music was a part of the people there. An important part. And it's not just, the music that we sing. Some of that music, amazingly enough, and it just opened my eyes, I'd sung back in the early 60s in Europe. And it was so exciting, for me. And I just, from then on, my mood's been up, except during the summer when we didn't practice so much. It was up, but so I know I'm rattling on, but that's just how meaningful it is to me as a person, and music I've lived with. I've sung all over the world. Some of this I've sung in China or Asia, in Australia, and all over Europe and in the Middle East, and so that's what it was to me. So I'm grateful that Margaret is president, because she does a great job. She helped me, finances when you're retired. I'm a retired teacher. I taught 35 years. Can be an issue, but this is nothing. It's really okay. I can afford it. And she helped me getting the right uniform and tux. It's not really a tux. She said, you got a black suit, that'll work. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that Michigan was just choir crazy like that.
Oh, they are all over. You can go in the Upper Peninsula and there's community choirs. It's just part of the culture. And then I got down here and the shock was really hit me.
Well, it's crazy the difference between it, to go from that to if Capital City is the only one between Lexington, Louisville, and like that. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Margaret, talking about some of these songs that you all do, how do you all choose what you sing?
So the last 3 directors have been high school directors as well. So they have a wealth of music within their libraries. So sometimes we borrow from that. The Capital City Chorale itself has a huge music library that is, through the gracious assistance of First United Methodist Church, remains housed in their basement. And when I first became president, we chose a librarian who went through and sorted through all the music, put it in a way that makes it easily accessible. And I think Taylor, our director, is there this week looking for additional music. And what will happen is he will perhaps bring 15 pieces, and we may do all 15. He may change his mind at some point during it, but he will have a stack of music for us to start on Tuesday.
So if people are interested, do you have to be as experienced as Michael is, or are there a range of people that can get involved?
We take anyone who wants to sing, if they want to learn to sing. We are a very flexible, welcoming organization, and in all the time I've been in there, we've never asked anyone not to come back because they cannot sing. So, it's the camaraderie. I just look so forward to every practice, to see people who I enjoy. I spend time with people who don't necessarily see the world in the same way I see the world, who don't understand, the things that make me tick. And I just feel like my life is so much richer because I have this opportunity to meet folks who don't necessarily walk the same steps in life that I do, except that we all sing.
Community's so important, and we're so separated these days, and this is just one, in any kind of group like this that you can come together and because you've got a common point of interest.
Yeah, perfect way to get to know people in your community and the community at large, but just
and hear
build
their
those
thoughts,
connections.
and hear their thoughts about things that I might never have considered and said, well.
Well, you mentioned practice. The fall semester kickoff is Tuesday, September 12th at 7 p.m. Franklin County Choir Room. You mentioned practice. What kind of a time commitment? Like how many practices? Is it like once a week that you all?
Once a week.
Okay.
An hour and a half. We have some thought that we might have a smaller chambers sort of choir, which might require a little bit more practice, but I would guess it will be tacked on the end of the practices. We never have special practices. We just, and we understand it's a once a week practice. And we sometimes are quite nervous the week before a concert. Oh, that song is not going to sound very good, but it always comes together.
Yeah, you're right.
If people are interested, we've got the website right down there at the bottom of the screen, cccfrankfurt.org, for more information there. You guys are music lovers, so we got to ask you the question of the day. And just if you need a pick-me-up, what's your go-to songs that you like to listen to, or artists?
I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan,
Okay.
and have been my
The
entire
boss.
life. But
Okay.
I like any kind of music. If it puts a hop in my step, and I hear it for the first time, I'm like, that's got to enter my repertoire.
Nice. Something upbeat for sure. Yeah. Michael, what about you? Mood boost? Music?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've sung back then. When I really was deep into a number of choirs, we sang like show tunes, and they called them musicals. I don't think they make them anymore, but they were very lifting to everybody. It's not just us. If we can look out in the audience and they understand the words, that's another big thing, and they get lifted up, and there's meaningful text there that just hits them, and it's not like it's all religious or anything like that. It's not that at all. We did a lot of, as I say, happy songs that would get you going and get the song going, and this. Now, we haven't done any foreign language songs. I just have to think.
Right.
When I was in China, we were singing in this huge cathedral that had been built back in colonial times, and we were singing English, and the Chinese were very, very appreciative of what that we'd come that far to sing to them. Well, when we sang, I can't believe this now because I don't learn languages very well at all, but we learned 3 songs in Chinese, and I think they were like folk type songs. But this cathedral that we were singing in, there was probably about 3,000 people there. It was really packed. I mean, there was people sitting in the windows of, you can picture an old cathedral, and they had climbed in the windows there, so the place was packed. And as soon as we started singing a song in Chinese, there was tears in everybody's eyes. So it hit them, where they live, and they were so happy, and they started singing with us. They knew all these 3 songs, and our Chinese was good enough that they could understand what we were singing. They knew the music. So that's what we'd like to do. Even, where we're singing here, there's songs that are meaningful to people that make the effort to come and listen at the very least. And of course, if you join us, then you get the joy of singing with it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just, it's a real lift.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody's going to be disappointed if
No.
if they come and join us, or if they just come and listen. Even my family that came and listened from around this area,
Yeah.
and they're from from Richmond all the way up and along 64, and I've got 14 of them, so they come and
Yeah.
and they appreciate it, and they understand where Papa came from in his history. So, yes, you made a mistake asking, does it lift me up? Yep, it does.
So a reminder for everybody: come and enjoy and listen, or come and participate.
Right.
Yes.
And be a part of it. Right there, the fall semester kickoff. There's all the info. Tuesday, September 12th, 7 to 8:30 at Franklin County High. Again, come sing with them, or come enjoy
Yeah.
to listen. And thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you all so
Thank
much.
you.
Oh, thank you for having us.